We now have new updates on the case of Daneil Erving, 18-year-old Daneil Erving, who went missing on April 13th, the last time anyone saw him, okay, at his home. 4 days later, his body washes up and or floats to the surface of Lake Ray Hubbard in Dallas, Texas on April 17th. And it has been confirmed by the medical examiner that he did indeed die on April 17th. Where he was from the 13th to the 17th is not clear. His family has not made statements regarding that. But keep in mind, Lake Ray Hubbard at its deepest is 40 feet. Now, there's been a few things that I have searched to figure out exactly where he was when he jumped into the lake with his so-called friends, who is Lucas Roper, who is 19, and a juvenile that is 17. So it was 3 of them together on the 17th at the 6300 block of Miller Road, which is a railway bridge access, if I'm not mistaken, at Lake Ray Hubbard. Keep in mind, Daneil was part of the swim team at his school, and he was in his senior year. They had all 3 jumped in at some point, but then after Daneil jumped in, he surfaced once and then went under and was not seen again. The medical examiner has also made statements on his report that he came to the surface once and then he went under again, not to be seen again. Lucas Roper, he voluntarily went in and gave statements to investigators. This kid, he said that he was in such a panic, and that is why he and the juvenile, the 17-year-old, fled after Daneil went under. He also confessed that he deleted messages on Daneil's cell phone prior to having the juvenile, the 17-year-old, toss it away. They also tossed his clothes near the bridge because Lucas, has a vehicle. And so they hopped in his car and started tossing shit out, but didn't forget to delete messages between himself and Daneil. And he told investigators that he knew that there would be an investigation, and that's why he deleted those messages, because he didn't want to get in trouble. These 2 teens are also being charged with tampering with evidence and failure to report the incident, but specifically tampering with evidence, as we know right now. Here's the thing, and I hate to talk about myself in this moment. Part of the reason that I have started shedding light and bringing awareness to these atrocities that are happening to our people is because I have a 9-year-old son. He will be 10 in January. And if something were to ever happen to him between now and him becoming a 21-year-old adult, I would want someone to have the same care and passion and help bring awareness to a situation. Knock on wood, that something ever happened to my son. That is why. That is my why. And I don't give a fuck who doesn't like that I may not always cover stories of other racial and ethnic groups. I don't care who doesn't like it. You can argue with your mama, okay, in the uterus that you came out of, because at the end of the day, it is our stories, the stories of Black children and Black people in general, that are always dismissed. And in Daneil's case, the medical examiner has stated on his report also that it is an accidental drowning. Now again, like I said before, Lake Ray Hubbard can be as deep as 40 feet. I did a little bit of research. On average, it is stated that it is around 20 feet. Again, Daneil was on the swim team, a very, very good swimmer. And that is not to say that these things don't happen, because we saw it last year with Malcolm Jamal Warner, who is an avid swimmer. and those riptides and currents swept him under. You see what I'm saying? But shit ain't adding up for me. And that's just my personal opinion outside of the facts of Daneil's case. Continued love and healing to his mother and his family members, as well as rest in divine love, Daneil. And we are all hoping, wishing, praying on all the stars that you and your mother get the justice you deserve.